What is up, guys? So currently on the screen you've got three little things that you can click. The first one is to explain all the chips in the mod. The second one at the bottom left is to explain all the pipe, and the third one is to show you little systems that you can do, like auto crafting and the storage system. Choose wisely. There is currently 7 different pipes into Projectred transportation, and I will only show you 5 of them. I will not show you the pressured pipe because they're a little bit more complex and they don't really matter that much. You can do pretty much whatever you want with the pipes that we're going to show here. So the first one is the item transport pipe. It is the one that you're going to use when you're not connecting to anything. So when you don't have a connection, this is the pipe that you're going to use. It is crafted like that. If we come here, oh, I did not. So it is crafted like this. And with a glass pane in the middle, that gives you 16. Well, it's clear. Alright, so like I said, they're pretty easy to make, and they're the one that you're going to use the most. The next one is the junction pipe. The junction pipe is, let's tag this one, is let's say you want to make an X with more than one connection and more ways to go to. You're going to need one of those to put in the middle to make it see all the sides, or else there could be some problems into your system. Though these are a little bit more complicated to craft because of the infused silicon. The infused silicon is pretty much made, you need to do sandy coal compound and then burn it. When you're going to burn it, you're going to get a silicon bowl. When you get the silicon bowl, you want to use a saw. I think any saw will work. With the silicon bowl, it will give you 8. And then again, you want to put redstone around. It's going to give you red silicon compound, and then you want to smelt it. This will give you the infused silicon. So this is how you craft them. How you make the Illumar is pretty easy, is you put your dye and you put your glowstone on top. It will give you 1 Illumar. You will need a bunch of these, but they give you 16 when you craft 1. The reason you'll need more than 1 of these, let's empty, is because you're going to need them to craft the next pipes. The next pipe is the routed interface pipe. This pipe is the one you connect to machines, you connect to chests, you connect to everything that you want to connect to. And this is the one that's going to take the chip that we're going to see over there. So how you craft this one? Redstone in the corners, gold, and a routed pipe in the middle, like this. So like I said, these are going to be connected to chests and stuff like that. So if we would want to show like this, and there would be another chest here. So now they're connected. They don't do anything because they don't have any chips yet. This one is the request pipe. The request pipe is pretty easy. If we click into it, it's like you can request stuff from your storage. So this one doesn't need any cards. It just needs to be connected to the pipes. Again, it's going to work with the routed interface pipe when it's connected to a chest to tell you what's in it. But again, it's not doing anything without the chips, so we're going to see that after. This one is pretty easy also. Redstone, 2 diamonds, and the routed junction pipe again. This one is the firewall pipe. This one's a little bit more complex, and not everyone's going to be using this one. The reason why it's more complex is because the interface that it's in it is a little bit more complex. You can, it acts like a firewall pretty much. You can blacklist or whitelist items that you want to be only on this side of the firewall. So if I would give you an example, we would have a chest here connected with those pipes there, and here we would only say you can only put chest into it. That means that only, well, not only on this side. If you put a priority higher than on the other side, there would only be chest in here but you would never get anything else because it wouldn't allow anything else to pass. There's also push, so if you want to push stuff in, if you want to pull stuff, and if you want to craft stuff. So you can regulate what's on the other side of the pipe. Let's remove those. And this one is if there's another one, which there's none. So those are the pipes. For the chips that goes into the pipes, the most important one is this one, simply because you need this one to make the other ones. So it's pretty easy, 3 gold nuggets, 2 paper, and 2 redstone. This one doesn't have an interface or anything, it doesn't do anything. If we grab it, you right click it, it doesn't do anything. It's only for crafting things. If we go to this one is the item responder chip. This one's gonna allow you to send item to the node that you put there, and they go into the routed interface pipe. Let's put one here just to show you, and we're gonna do the same here. So if we grab the card, it's really important that you look in the GUI of the card, which means you right click the card and this little screen is gonna pop up. Here in the filter, it will always be into whitelisted mode. If you don't want to have a filter of things that can go in the chest, you're gonna need to blacklist. You can play with the preference here. If you would like your items to go in that chest first, you would then boost that one. And you can just right click on the node and it's going to be inserted here. So if I had a system that would extract things, it would go straight into there. The next one is pretty much the same thing, but they work together. You need this one to tell it that it can go into the chest. And you can say this one, if I already have the item in the chest, put it in there. The same thing, this one doesn't have the whitelist or anything, just the preference. So what will happen is, let's say I have the chip in there, and I put a chip, the same chip, into my system. It will automatically go into the chest. So, because there's already one here. The trick is this, and I'll show you a little bit later. If you put this card, it will go in the first inventory in the system. If you put this one and you have the item, it's going to go in there because the item already is there. But if you have both into preference 0, it will choose the first inventory. So the trick is to put these at a lower preference than these. So it's always going to focus on the ones that can go in first because there's already one, and then it's going to focus if there's none of the items you're trying to put in. And that's it. That's it about those. The next one is the item overflow responder chip. This one is going to be if there's too many of the items already in the system, you're going to put it in these. Preference again, it's the same thing. So if it's full, it's going to put it there. That's it. That's all this one does. How you craft these, it's pretty easy. This one is orange Illumer. This one is orange Illumer in the corners, like this, with a cyan. And this one is green, because the card is green. So they're pretty easy. You go with the color of the card, and like you see, this one has a little bit blue cyan in the front. This one is an important one. This one is the extractor chip. So what you have is the same thing, whitelist. You're going to want to put blacklist unless you only want to extract some items, like let's say a chip, or you only want to take the gold and not the iron from the chest, or you're going to put your iron or gold and you're going to whitelist it. But normally it's to put your stuff in your system. So you're just simply blacklist it. Also, you can change where the item is going to be collected from. So let's say you have a machine, but you want to grab the item, that the items can only be grabbed from the bottom. but you can only place the pipe from the back, then you'll see it's going to simulate from the bottom, and it's going to extract the thing from the bottom, even if the pipe is connected behind. And this is how you craft it. Cyan Illumar in the corners, iron on the side, and the Null-Logic in the middle. The next one is the broadcasting chip. Also really important. This one's gonna allow you to see the items that you have in your storage with the routed request pipe. So if we right click it, there's a filter also on it, but it's already into blacklisted mode. Because normally you're gonna want it to see everything. So if you want to blacklist something and you don't want to see it in your system, you're gonna put it there. If you only want to see 1 items or 9 into the storage that you're placing this into, then you're gonna whitelist it. And here is hide 1 per type, per stack, hide nothing. So you get the point, it's pretty easy. And again, which side does it look at? Let's say you have a furnace and you put a broadcasting and you only want to see how much coal you have into it. Well, you're gonna go west because, or no, actually you would go the back of the machine, which would be the side that you have. So you would click it and it would only show you the coal that you have into it. How you craft it? Gold, magenta. I know it looks purple. I thought it was purple too, but it's magenta Illumar. And so same thing again. The next one is item stock keeper. It will always try to keep the item that you want in there. Refill when item's missing, refill when item's empty, refill infinitely, or refill. You get the point. And again, you want to put like the item in here and you can match it. Let's say you want to just put the swords. Well, here you can say group at whatever you want. So this is how it works. Blue Illumar, red stone, and a diamond. This one's a little bit more expensive. So here, I kind of forgot to put one at the bottom here. So if we look at this is the crafting chip. They changed it because they used to have crafting pipes. If we go in crafting pipe, you can't, there's no recipe for it anymore. You can't have any recipe because they don't work anymore. You can't connect them to anything. So what you're gonna do is when you craft it, glowstone and lime in the corner? Yeah, lime in the corner. You're gonna right click it. And they work in conjunction with this one. So I'm gonna just show you this one first. Red Illumar in the corners, redstone and 1 glowstone with the Null-Logic in the middle. So why do they work in conjunction? Because you need one of these to talk to one of that, to these. So let's say we have 1 and 1, and we would like to craft, let's say planks. So we're gonna grab 4 planks and a log. So what you would do, you would go into the item crafting extension ship first, and you would go into the ID. So I would say randomize it, just to make sure you don't have 2 of the same. Then you would go in your crafting chip, and this is where this one is important. You're gonna go in the extension, and you're gonna put your chip right there. So now both of them are connected together. Here in the matrix, you're gonna wanna put what you're gonna craft. So let's say this one gives 4 of these. And this is how you do it. Here in match, you can again say what the damage group is. If you want to ignore the dictionary, then BT or the metadata file. And priority. If you have more than one, it can craft wood. If you want this one to be prioritized. And this is how they work. I'm going to show you a little bit after how they really work. So yeah, those are the chips that we have, and they are all important. You're going to be seeing how they really work in the next step. Now for the little explanation on how things work. So let's see how a simple extraction works. The extraction is made with an extraction pipe, like I said. You want to blacklist it to be able to extract everything, and here it's already in there. So as you can see, the filter mode is already blacklisted. But let's say you don't have that one here, and I want to put some stone. It won't work, because what it did, it says you can extract, but you're not telling it I'm able to grab items. So again, this one needs to be on blacklist, and when you right click on it, the items are automatically going to go into the chest. And this is a simple extraction. Pretty easy. Here we have a complex extraction. And here is where those routed junction pipe come into play. Because they're going to tell your system when there's a branch that sticks out. So again, this one I installed the dynamic ones. And the dynamic ones, again, they're going to check in the storage if you have something. Currently I have nothing. So let's take... it's going to do the... you can't grab from the chest. So let's say we have sand, we have dirt, and we have stone. So we're going to put the sand in here. We're going to put the sand in here, the stone in there, and the dirt in here. So if we put the sand's going to go in here. If we put the slabs are going to go over there, and the dirt again is going to choose where it wants to go, because we have the dynamics items responder. But we also have the item responder chip, and if you look, this one is at preference 1, this one's at preference 0. So let's say I do not have any items into this one. What will happen? Even if I have that, it doesn't matter because it hasn't been anywhere yet. So the item's going to go in the first inventory available. And now if I put my dirt, it's going to go directly into it. This is it. Okay, so now it's pretty much what you guys probably want to see. How do we make a storage? Well, it's pretty important that you have your extraction chip, like in the other sections. And then you want your request pipe that's going to be able to see into the chest. But in the chest you will want a broadcaster chip. This will allow the request pipe to see into the chest. So in here I've got the responder chip, the dynamic. So again, here it's going to be the same thing. If I want to put it there, it's going to go in there. Let's just grab a couple and we'll do the same thing. If I put it there, it sees that it's already in here, so it's going to go there first. So those are the chips, same junction. You want to put a routed, and the routed interface is going to go in there. So broadcasting chip, again, preference 0, you don't really care. It's just going to show first if you add a preference. So the dynamics and the item responder chips are still in there. And when you right click, your items are there. And you can just select, and I want to get all my dirt. And it's just going to go to you, like that. And then you can put them back because we don't like dirt. Again, there's nothing there. It went into the first one. So this is... Really? Why do I have a seagull next to me? There we go. So we want to put some seagull bird, raw bird into our system. I will tell you, this system doesn't work. It doesn't work here in this world. But it works in my multiplayer world. And I will show you that it works into my multiplayer world in a second. What I have is, like I said, I have the crafting chip here and the extension crafting chip there. So in the item crafting chip, I've got my extension right there. I've got 1 sand equals 1 glass, and nothing has changed. And in this one, the ID is the same as the crafting. So what you want to do is put the crafting chip on the output of where you're sending your things, and the extension in the input. And normally when you would go in your system, you would see I have 0 glass, but I can still ask for some. And as you can see, it wasn't configured correctly. So currently it's going to work, it's going to give you my glass, but now it's not going to work. There's a way to make it work just by connecting it to a machine, and it's this one. That's going to go in and out. But that's normally what you can do with normal furnaces and all the mods, so that's not how I'm going to show you. So let's request like 1. So as you can see now, it's asking for the item, but can't. So it's not reading that there's the extension chip here, and this is a problem in the mod, it's not the configuration. So let me jump into my multiplayer world and I'll show you that the same connections work. Alright, so here we are in my multiplayer world, and as you can see, the same setup, the same pipe there, same pipe here, and same pipe there. Crafting at the bottom, same, send, yield, glass. And at the top, I've got the extension chip. And if we go ask my system to give me, let's say, again, we're gonna ask for 8 glass. It's able to send it to here, and now it's in there, but I didn't put any coal. So it did use the top part, but it did not use the bottom part. And it works in this system. So, like that. And it would just burn it, and then it would grab it from the bottom and send it at the top. In a second, those are not the fastest. So you see, it just crafted it and sent it outside. So you're gonna have to test if this works. It works great because you can use it with furnaces and things that don't necessarily have an output that you can choose. So let's go back. I found a fix to be able to make it work with anything, and I will show you guys. So this was the system that currently doesn't work into my world, and the difference is I did this. And yes, it is a little bit insane, and if you have other mods, those pipes can be replaced. So what I did is I simply used one card, the item crafting chip. So this one, again, same recipe, nothing, the extension is there, but doesn't even need to be. Same thing. So I put it in here, into a chest, and if you only want to use Projectred pipes, you can do this. 2 routed pipes and 2 routed pipes at the bottom, interface routed pipes at the bottom. So here I've got an extraction chip, whitelisted only for sand, and here I've got an item responder chip, and here I've got extraction chip only with glass with an item responder chip. So what will happen when I ask for glass is this. They're gonna go in the chest, this one's gonna extract it into the furnace, and when it's done, it's gonna go back and it's gonna send it out. So this is a way to automate when you can't use that method. So, like I said, you can use other pipes, and that's what I'm gonna show you. It works with other pipes also, like that, like this, depending on what you want. So we're gonna put the 2 pipes like this, and we're simply gonna tell it go. And again, here you want to, let's say you want to blacklist this one. So when the glass is gonna come, it's not just gonna go away. So let's go, ask for 8 more. It's gonna do the same thing, send it into it, and send it back. And you got your stuff, and it still meets the requirement of the pipe to stop blinking like that and stop asking for things. So this method could be used when this one doesn't work. So I do prefer that method because this one doesn't seem to be reliable. It isn't a placement, it isn't single player, it isn't an update. I'm in the same version in 2 worlds. I'm in the same mods, I'm in the same orientation, in the same number of chunks. I checked everything, everything is the same. So yeah, if you want to use the crafting, I would suggest using this method. Just using a pipe into a chest and piping things out of the chest and into the chest. But yeah guys, that's going to be it. I hope you understood a little bit better what everything was about. And if you want to know more, the Projectred wiki is nice except for crafting. It doesn't have any information. There's some cards I didn't really explain. Like I don't have a setup for it because I don't find them really useful. If you want to keep items into an inventory, you're gonna keep item keeping card. If you want to do other stuff, well, it's pretty easy to understand what you're gonna need them for. So like this, overflow, or this one, stock keeping, so it's not really hard to understand how to use them. And again, they go into these, so just make sure you put them into those, and let's say, boom, they go into routed interface pipe. But yeah, if you enjoyed, if you understood a little bit better what was happening, click the like button, it helps me a lot. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you have any questions, put them down there. And we will see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.